you need to shut the fuck up.
Hey, motherfuckers, this is Minx. Suck my balls.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
put on your uniform right,
Expert Action Badge.
show up to work on time,
Expert Action Badge.
qualify on your weapon,
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
find your guidon.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right. Just doing your noble warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action. The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. Action Badge.
This is Randy Couture, and you're listening to WTF Nation Radio.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Minx, and there's Grey Cloud. I got it back.
Woo!
Hello.
Be seen when you broadcast now.
I know.
I'm very much impressed then.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. now it'll be a little more fairer.
More fairer.
Yeah, as we drive the show, I guess.
Oh. Is that so?
Please don't mute me.
Mute kick. Hello, everybody in Facebook. Hello, everybody over in Mixer. Hello, everybody over on YouTube. Hello. Welcome to Tied Up Tuesday. Oh, goodness. Hey, actually, I'm looking at your screen right now, and I don't like it. It looked fine in the other window, but now it doesn't look good.
That looks terrible.
I know. I need you to, tilt your camera up.
Move my camera up. I'll stand by.
Yeah.
Is that more gooder?
That's more better. Mo better. It's like a, flat-chested to, oh, titties. Mo better.
Mo better.
I went there.
Apparently
oh, my
so.
goodness. How's your week been, dude?
Interesting, to say the least. We had early dismissal yesterday, and there was some adverse weather. So it wasn't that bad yesterday. Football and whatnot is what I watched. And then it's been pretty relaxed. I am not looking forward to going back to school. And, I don't want to go back to school this week. How about you?
Oh, goodness. Well, let's see. It's been a rather uneventful week, right? So I was sick last Tuesday, and then I didn't work last Tuesday. I didn't work Wednesday because I was still, having a good fever. And then they're like, we don't need you to come in Thursday or Friday. So I had a whole week off.
Nice.
Which, is not common. And so I was like, what do I do? I tried sleeping in, but that didn't work.
Once you're in those routines like you are with the go, good luck sleeping in.
Yeah. So it was, it's intense. I had whole week off. It was great. Fucking got super rested, and then, yesterday got back to work, and I'm like, I don't want to be here.
That happens a lot.
I wanted to go back to sleep. But, no, at the same time, it was nice because everyone at work was like, oh, hey, you're still alive. Yes, it's me. Apparently, Texas is having a really bad flu season right now. Like, it's fucking people up. And, like, I had my flu shot. And, you know, it's kind of mandatory for me to get it. I had it. Like, I can't even imagine what it would have been like if I didn't have it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's that. And then I'm on call today. So, I'm drinking ginger ale and pretending that there's Irish whiskey in there.
Oh, I'm having a 14-year-old Oban.
Yeah?
It's delicious.
Yeah, you're just gonna rub that in. Fuck you.
So, dude.
Mute kick, motherfucker.
No.
Right.
No, it's you know, the week, the break from school was nice to kind of bring down my op tempo, but kind of like what you were saying, the only weekend I really did anything was when I went home for Christmas to visit my kids. But yeah, having like basically doing nothing and relaxing for the weekend and not having to worry about getting up and go to class or, you know, make the flight and crunch all my hours on the front end of the weekend. It was kind of nice. It was really, my boss thought it was really weird when I showed up to work on Friday.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing here? I'm working.
Right? Why are you here?
Why am I here? Because you hired me?
Right. It says somewhere in like my hiring contract that I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm here. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I forgot. On Saturday, I did a photo shoot, like boudoir thing, which is why like my Minx page has a new picture on it. And it's a little risque. I'm waiting for someone to report it. Yeah. That's what I'm waiting on. And then I took one there's a couple more that are a bit more risque. And I'm debating whether and I started like a Twitter thing for Minx, like my Minx self. And I'm waiting to see like how long it takes for me to get kicked off of there or banned from there. And like there's a picture. One of the pictures that I took, I was laying underneath a rebel flag, if you will. And like that's the only thing really that's covering me. And so I'm kind of debating whether or not to like post that up there just to be like, I wonder if people get bent out of shape about this. But then at the same time, I don't want it all out on the interwebs. So
It's out there.
Because, you know, like you see my face, obviously. You don't really see anything else, but, you know, the illusion is there.
Yes. It's all about maintaining that illusion.
Right? But then, you know, then I'll start getting the, like, oh my God, Minx is racist. No, not really, no.
Right. Because that's where everything goes immediately now,
Well,
because nobody has any
obviously.
valid arguments other than being a racist, a bigot, a misogynist,
Right?
on and on and on, because that's the fallback argument now for, I don't know, everything apparently. So,
and the great point, because that actually brings to mind an article that I saw today about do you remember the rapper, I guess, or fucking, I don't fucking know what he's called, R&B artist, hip-hop, I don't fucking know, hip-hop. Anyways, Genuine, do you remember him?
Yes, I remember Genuine.
So apparently, right, he sings Pony. Yes. The Magic Mike song? Hell yeah. Oh, God. Woo. But no, anyway, so apparently Genuine is on British celebrity Big Brother right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in headlines right now because he refused to kiss a trans woman on live TV. So, the article goes to say, Genuine has sparked a heated debate on Twitter after a recent episode of Celebrity Big Big Brother UK. In the latest episode, Genuine seemingly rejected fellow housemate India Willoughby. The controversy stems from a conversation between Willoughby and the pony singer in which she asked whether he would date a trans woman. Quote, "You would date me, yeah," Willoughby, who is a trans woman herself, asked. Genuine replied, "Not if you were trans." After Genuine replied that he would not date a trans woman, Willoughby attempted to plant a kiss on the singer. When her advance was rejected, Willoughby stormed off. So now apparently Twitter has split into two sides. One side is outraged that Genuine's rejection, suggesting that his unwillingness to date a trans woman is transphobic and bigoted. And then on the other hand, some fans are rallying behind the In Those Jeans artist, insisting that he has a choice to date whomever he chooses. Some are also suggesting Willoughby was actually sexually harassing him.
I was going to say that's where I would go, because in the U.S. that's in a lot of places that would be classified as sexual assault. It's unwanted.
Yes.
Just saying.
Right?
So,
and that's my thing. And
the assault.
I kind of got into an argument with someone about this, and they were like, oh, that's just a bigoted, person. And I'm like, how is it bigoted? Like, you can't help who you're attracted to. That would be like going up to a gay person and being like, you can't like someone from the same sex because that makes you bigoted against members of the opposite sex. That's what I'm fucking, oh, there's a huge time delay. Hey, what's up? Say something. There's a huge time delay.
I hear you. There's a time delay?
Okay, we're better now.
Okay.
But no, and I was like, that would be like me trying to instill my beliefs onto somebody else. God damn. Okay, I'm on call right now, you guys, so I have to keep my phone on at least vibrate. But dear sweet baby Jesus, this is getting ridiculous. So basically I was like, that would be like me, who's very pro Second Amendment, going up to a hippie who's not pro Second Amendment and being like, you better like weapons and you better like the Second Amendment, because if you don't, you're a fucking bigot. And I was like, my rights end where that person's rights begin. So just because someone doesn't like, who the fuck, and they're like, well, that makes him a bigot. And I was like, who the fuck cares? That's between him and his own conscience. It should not concern you at all what his fucking preference is.
Right.
If he doesn't want to fucking date trans women, then that's his fucking God-given right. Right. But, and I totally fucking agree, and I brought that up. I was like, he needs to go press charges for at least sexual harassment, if not sexual assault, because she made unwanted sexual advances towards someone who had stated literally not even a few seconds beforehand that he was not interested. Not interested. And then I was like, and if you take this and you flip the roles, and it is a man doing this to a woman, whether she's trans, lesbian, whatever, if he were to come on to her and she says, no, I'm not attracted to you, no, I don't want to do anything with you, and then he goes and tries to kiss her, especially with the fucking climate that's going on right now, for a fact he's going to be fucking behind bars, or at least pending a court date for sexual misconduct. But because it is a straight man to a trans woman, all of a sudden now it's Genuine's a fucking bigot because he doesn't want to date trans people. Who the fuck cares? That's his goddamn right. And it's his choice. You can't force someone to be fucking, attracted to someone that they're not fucking attracted to. It's fucking impossible. You can't do it. Sorry, I'm fucking ranting. No,
well, that's fine. And you are right, and Spanky had the same sentiment that you just exploded on. Had it been the other way around, like you said, trans or not, that person's going to be looked at in this with just as much disdain as Harvey Weinstein and all these other guys, Matt Lauer, and all those other individuals who are facing all this sexual assault shit right now.
Yep.
And it would be in the same light. And that's what I have the issues with all these special groups, and all these protections that the U.S. is falling prey to right now, right? Oh, if you don't agree with a person, then you must be a bigot. You must be a racist. You must be a misogynist because you don't agree with them. No, I don't agree with them because I don't agree with them.
Right?
That's not.
It has nothing to do with who they are. It's just I don't agree with that.
Yeah. Again, they could be a great person. They could be the funniest person in the world. They could be whatever. Not the way I swing, and not what I signed up for.
Right? Not what I'm attracted to. Right? Exactly. And if someone came up to me and they're like, and they were a trans man or whatever, like if I'm not attracted to you, I'm just not fucking attracted to you. As like, personally, I don't know if I could date someone who is trans. I don't know. It fucking depends. Like if you look like a dude and I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, no, I'm fairly convinced like that you're a dude. Now, okay, like, maybe we'll see. But again, like I'm all about like attraction based, I don't know what's the right word, chemistry when it comes to like, who I choose for like to play with or like hang out with or date or fucking whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like you have to be attractive to me. If you're not attractive to me, then I'm not going to be like willing to do anything with you.
Right.
And let's face it, like the physical aspects of any sort of relationship are rather important. So if you're like, I'm not attracted to you, therefore I'm not gonna fuck you, why am I even here?
Agreed. you can't argue that point.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Mm.
But yeah. Yeah, exactly. My toys. Exactly, John Owl. Exactly.
Good point.
So I wanted to do a little shout out really quickly. So for those of you who remember Cuffs, she actually just became an aunt last Friday. So I wanted to give a shout out to Cuffs and her sister, and wait for it, he's fucking adorable. Everyone, this is Cuffs, and this is her nephew, James Ray Austin, and I'm not going to say his last name. But he's going to go by the nickname of Jimothy from The Office, because Cuffs is obsessed with The Office, and like she's my Office binge partner. And yeah, so congratulations, you guys. Wish you guys, like, mom and baby and new dad are all doing great. And I can't wait to come visit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Cuffs, congratulations on becoming an aunt. And from me to you, I'm glad your team season is over.
Oh my God. Did you see that video from NFL memes about like, oh, your teams didn't make the playoff, like this is your reaction? Did you see your team? Great Cloud, I asked you a question.
I did not hear your question.
Oh, I asked if you saw your team in that video.
No.
Because I saw it.
Did you?
I did, and it was a bunch of crying My Little Ponies.
Oh, that's good. I'll be the first to admit that the team I cheered for sucks.
Dude, I mean, you almost had a perfect season. Or no, sorry. My team almost had a perfect season, like the Browns.
Yeah.
But then we got a new quarterback and won 5 straight in a row.
You know what? All I'm going to say is Beathard helped you guys out, and he did get 2 wins, 2 or 3 wins for you. 2 wins.
Wait, who?
CJ Beathard,
He
quarterback,
got us
Iowa.
1.
So yeah, not all those wins are oh boys.
But the majority are, and they were all in a row.
Yeah, well, again.
Watch out for next season! Ah!
Hey,
So
your team has to
excited.
commit to a contract to him first.
Yeah, we're not gonna let him go. You kidding?
I bet you they will.
Bet you they fucking won't. Don't die.
Working on it.
Right. All right. So, yeah, exactly. The Browns, the fucking Browns.
The Browns, woohoo!
Their fans held a victory parade for throwing a perfect 0-16 season.
That's awesome, is what that is.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Kills me is with all the crappy seasons they've had and all the draft picks they've been able to acquire via trade and all this other stuff, right?
Year after motherfucking years of
Not
first
able to
round
land a
picks.
quarterback to guide their team. To guide their team, because it literally blows my mind that they've had all these picks and they've never looked to either grab a proven veteran at the quarterback position or to actually go get the quarterback they needed, i.e. like when Kaepernick first came out, i.e. when Russell Wilson first came out, right?
Yeah.
And now you have a decent class to include Josh Rosen and Baker Mayfield, and I think Lamar Jackson's coming out this year. You're gonna have some decent options here. Rounds, let's not squander them. Of course, unless you trade away to the Broncos, and that's fine. So we can go get a quarterback of the future.
Right.
That would be my only way I'd see that happening. But I digress. Yes, but
That's my favorite phrase to use when writing essays, and I start going off on a tangent, like venting. I digress.
back to the original point.
Oh, goodness. What? Okay, I have a question. What is this whole dilly-dilly thing?
I have no fucking clue. It has to do with it was a Bud Light commercial. So there's a funny haha behind this dilly dilly, right?
Right? I don't understand it. I don't.
So Budweiser did, or Anheuser-Busch, I'd say, for their Bud Light line, did a whole commercial about this dilly dilly, and it was to make fun of the craft beer craze and all this other stuff, right? So to kind of poke fun at that and to kind of capitalize on the dilly dilly movement, we'll call it, an actual small town, a small craft brewer, I think it was up in New England, sent a cease and desist order in a very funny manner to them to no longer use the dilly dilly. What was kind of cool about it, though, is they were going to allow them to finish out the run of what they had already created as a limited edition or limited production run. But after that, they were not allowed to use it any further. So Anheuser-Busch was kind of classy about it, and they did it in a very funny manner. This whole dilly dilly thing is all it has to do with Anheuser-Busch and making fun of craft breweries. But let's face it, if you're drinking Bud Light, there's other issues that you're facing probably.
Right. Hey, I kind of enjoy Bud Light, so.
I can't say that. So if
Right?
at least it's not PBR.
Yeah, no. That is strictly like beer pong beer, and even then, that's pushing it. And I'm like, no.
Andy Thrift in the Facebook Live equates dilly dilly to cheers.
Oh.
Hmm.
Dilly dilly. Okay, well, now I know. Learn something new every day.
You know, any thrift, you take that poison back.
What?
Paxton Lynch is not the future of the Broncos.
What?
Paxton Lynch is not the future of the Broncos. We'll be clear on that right now.
Y'all are going to trigger my co-host.
Don't you put that evil on me. I like the baby Jesus the best.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Anyways. So, in the news. So there's been a lot going on in the news.
I was going to say, when do you want to talk about 7th Special Forces?
You know, I say we save that for the second hour because I think that's going to cover a good span of that hour.
Mm-hmm.
We're about halfway through our first hour, and I don't want to save it to the third hour. But I think we can tackle the 7th SF stuff in the second hour.
All right, 7th group, you're mine in the second hour.
So, Nation, be sure you're juiced up for the second hour.
Hell yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. But there's some other good stuff going on, at least, that we can cover.
Yes, go for it.
So the first thing I want to cover, though, is something we're tracking on the main page. Nation, if you're paying attention right now, get over to the main page and look for a post that went up about 1700 East Coast time, because it is a doozy. And I'll pull up the post quick and give you the quick rundown of it. That way you guys kind of understand it, because it is literally on fire on our page right now. My system is slow. I apologize tonight. But it stems from, what's this lovely unit? It's a CAV unit, so there you go. Here it is. It's a memorandum from... Oh, it just froze on me. Son of a... It's moving. That's fantastic. Anyway, it's at the Great Place at Fort Hood, and the memo is basically dictating to these troopers in this CAV unit on how they can make an appointment for medical reasons, right? Like, i.e., they cannot make their own medical appointment without going through the chain of command. They cannot go to a family member's appointment at all. And cases that have to do with kids and ultrasounds and emergencies for family members will be dealt on a case-by-case basis. Yeah.
So, how?
There's a lot of
some of the what?
Nation, get over there and read the comments, because they are lit and they are on fire. 213 Kev. Bob, I'm pulling it up.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. Service members are not allowed to go to their spouse's ultrasound appointments?
On a case-by-case basis, they may be allowed to go to a spouse's ultrasound appointment. So if a soldier is pregnant in this unit, which would be interesting because of the unit, but it could happen because, integrated army now, they have to make, so let's see if hold on, I'm trying to pull this up quick without it freezing on me. Oh, I got it. Woohoo. All right. So this memo is from Blackfoot Troop, 2nd Squadron, 13 Cavalry Regiment, 3rd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Armored Division, Fort Bliss, Texas.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, we put You
put the whole letterhead up there. God damn.
Oh, and it got better.
How does it get better?
This lovely captain put his signature blocks in there, Nation, if you want to go check it out. He signs it, Captain So officers, when they put their signature block, it's their rank and then their branch.
Yes.
He signs it Captain Cav. I'm not sure there's a Cav branch. I'm just saying, again, it's been a hot minute. There might be a new Cav branch.
Right?
I don't know.
We don't know.
No.
Great Cloud and I are veterans. We don't know what's going on.
There may or may not be a new Cav branch. It could. Hey, you never know.
Right? The Cavalry Corps. That's what it is. The Cavalry Corps. Or if you will, the Corps of the Cavalrymen.
Yes, but still, it's still not a branch.
You don't know.
Yeah. So, and this is what really kills me about that. So here's the appointment thing, right? So this is I'll read the one paragraph of Nation. You can go check out the rest of the memorandum. First of all, they didn't follow AR 2550 very well.
Oh God, I hate that.
Because it goes 1, 2, 3, and then the two sub bullets are numerical 1 and 2 again. Yes. So apparently they did not pass 2550.
You just have to set up like bulletin in fucking word processor, and when you hit enter and then tab over, it automatically changes it to a letter. It's automatic. Like, you can't oh my God, like 25-50 was my shit. I fucking knew that thing backwards and forwards when I worked in the orderly room. Dude, I would send shit back to fucking sergeant's first classes with red ink all fucking over it. And I'm a little like E4 Mafia, like, no, fuck you guys. Like, I am not fixing this. You fix it.
Yes.
Take this shit back.
Captain Cav does not know how to AR 2550.
Oh my God. It's so aggravating. Like,
so
how do you get that far with
it's yeah.
I'm triggered.
So here's third. This is the best one. Right. Troopers who attend an appointment will meet with their chain of command prior to attending to discuss possible follow-up appointment dates and times. If a trooper attends an appointment and is asked to schedule a follow-up, the trooper will do the following. First, schedule an appointment on a date time already approved by their chain of command. Or, if no pre-approved date time is available, the trooper will retrieve a list of available appointments from the provider and return to the troop to discuss with the chain of command which date time will be best when scrubbed against the training calendar.
Yeah, no doctor. I can tell you this right now, hands down, without a doubt. No facility, no medical facility on Fort Bliss is going to honor that. They're going to say, because as it is, it's first come, first fucking serve. We're not going to fucking sit there and wait for you to get back to us like, no, this is not a good day. Like, that's why you get your fucking appointment done. Like, you schedule your appointment. And then if you need to reschedule it, that's what you fucking do. No fucking clinic on Fort Bliss or the hospital on Fort Bliss. None of them are going to fucking appease this fucking bullshit memo that's not even technically in regs, so therefore does not count.
Yep.
Oh God, my eye's gonna start twitching. Keep going.
So, and then the other one, the one I spoke about, is number 6. Troopers are not authorized to miss work for a spouse or family member's appointments. Troopers who have one vehicle will mitigate that issue at their level for their spouse family member to attend their appointment. Spouse family member medical appointments of a serious nature and ultrasounds will be approved on a case-by-case basis by the troop command team.
Wow.
Yes. So if you read that, single parents
are screwed.
Take their kids to anything.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it says. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air. Who is this?
Hey, Minx. Hey, Great Cloud. This is Doc. How are you all doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fair. If you ain't cab, you ain't shit, huh?
No.
Hey, speaking of appointment, got a question for you all, and maybe you can help me out. As far as community-based care from a VA facility, I've been receiving community-based care for primary care, mental health, and neurology for over 5 years that the VA's paid for, not through the choice program, but through a fee card. And they recently told me they were going to stop paying for my outside care. There's myself and 4 other veterans from Mountain Home VA Medical Center in Johnson City, Tennessee, that are having these fee cards revoked. And they say that funding stopped for that program in 2014. Have you all come across any vets that have ended up with a bunch of medical bills? Because that was 4 years ago. And if they stop paying for that care, then every doctor's appointment that I've been to, I'm going to have to use my Medicare or eat that expense out of my pocket. Have you all heard such shit? Are you familiar with? I got a survey from the VA, from the national VA, that is wanting to know how I've got my community-based care, and they're asking about it, and if it's typical younger GWAT vets, they're not going to reply to that shit, and at the end of the day, Congress says, well, we got these good surveys that everything's took care of, and they are giving the shaft to the veterans. Are you all aware of how the fee card works? Have you had any other vets with this issue, and what do you recommend?
Me personally, you're the first person that I've ever heard this from, ever. Honestly, I can't tell you what the hell a C card is, except, from what you told me.
I'll tell you how it started. I was in a mental health clinic, and I was in a room with a Haji, and it got nasty. And I had to go in front of a disruptive behavior committee at the VA. And they fee-based my mental health outside the VA, so I wouldn't have to deal with providers of a different nationality. Mental health was originally taken care of, and I had a fee card. It was almost like a meal card when you was in the military. I had a fee card, and on it had a telephone number that they would call fee services, and fee services would approve the treatment.
That's interesting.
And so far they've done that, but where veterans live close to a VA, providers don't want to accept the Veterans Choice Program, aka Tri-West. That was a bunch of shit run through Congress. People remember TRICARE, thought of Tri-West, it was going to pay, and then when they were, that piece of legislation was in the House, they were arguing, the 30 days or 40 miles straight line distance as a crow flies, or 40 miles by highway. And each provider outside the VA does everything that they can to avoid accepting Tri-West, because Tri-West doesn't reimburse the providers as much as Medicare does.
Yeah.
And you have these providers that hear, Tri-West, they know TRICARE is for active duty and retirees. Hey, we'll take you. And then all of a sudden the veteran ends up with a shitload of medical bills because Tri-West and the Veterans Choice Program didn't want to pay the providers.
Yeah.
The fee card is fee-based services that the VA can't provide. My VA doesn't have a neurology clinic anymore, so they fee-base it outside, and it's way different than the Veterans Choice Program.
Doc.
Any vets that listen, they could get the shaft. Yes, Minx.
You should actually contact our VA rep.
Okay.
Like, we have an actual VA rep on staff, and I want to say, it was just dropped into the Facebook Live comments. So I would say your question, your inquiry is best suited for that, because I can't help you.
Yeah, and I have same here.
Oh, okay. Bye, Doc. Oh, wait, no, he's calling back. Hello, Doc.
I'm sorry, I lost you, Mink.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm looking into Facebook Live, and I'm using my congressman, who's the chairman of the House VA committee, and trying to get some attention brought to this because there's myself and 4 other vets that their fee cards have been revoked. I was told that the funding ended for that program in 2014, and I'm so afraid that other veterans are going to end up with thousands of dollars of medical bills dropped in their lap because VA didn't pay.
Well, definitely, I would say definitely contact our VA rep and then just let us know how it's going so that way we can keep an eye on this situation. And then, so that way if more attention needs to be brought to this whole, again, situation, then we're able to do that. But right now we don't have, I don't have enough information on this, and, we don't know if it's affecting like a large population. Like even if it's a small population, we don't want it to like adversely affect anyone, but we need more information before like we can talk about it. So
yeah, well, I just
definitely
highly recommend
that
that
link.
veterans make sure that they talk to the billing department of any providers they see outside the VA and make sure the VA is taking care of that. Otherwise, those medical bills will, accrue and get really big.
Yeah. So, but thanks for
Thanks
calling
for the
in,
show.
Doc.
I love you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for the show.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. So back to your calf.
The cab, yes.
So yeah, no, that brings into great light single family soldiers.
Yeah.
Or single soldiers with kids.
Again,
There
and
we
then
go. That's
so
the phrase.
there's a lot of comments in there. Let's see. Yeah, there's a shit ton of comments in there, and you hear both sides of everything, right? Oh, that's what your family care plan is for, blah blah blah.
Your family care plan is for if you deploy.
Emergencies.
Yeah, and emergencies, not to activate it to take your fucking kid to the doctor.
Yep. So it's man, it's a terribly written memo. You got guys in there citing 600-20 commander's policy or something like that is what it is. It's really bad. But Nation, if you want to read it in its entirety and chime in on it or see some of the hilarity in the comments, get over to the main page and check that out. Again, that went up at approximately 1700 East Coast time. So you might have to dig through 2 or 3 other posts to find it. Yep. Captain Cav, good luck.
Goodness.
Captain Cav.
Captain Cav, what an idiot.
Oh, I hope
God,
he's listening.
honestly, I want to know what the fuck, what good idea fairy fucked his ear hole to where he's like, this makes perfect sense. Yes, I'm brilliant. Like there's good idea fairies and then there's this bullshit.
Now, I could see something being needed if like soldiers were missing a lot of appointments or there were soldiers actually abusing it on whatever reason to try and either get out of certain things or whatnot. But for it to be at this level, there's obviously a deeper issue that this commander has no control on.
Right,
yeah. He's lost control of his company if he has to try and write something that it's this fucked up to make this happen.
And Andy in Facebook Live brings up a great point, which I'm kind of ashamed I didn't think of first because, military or medical. Anyways, HIPAA. This completely violates HIPAA. It is no, let me finish. Let me finish. No. Stop. It violates HIPAA because the good Captain Cav, is not in a need-to-know position. All he needs to know is that a soldier has a medical appointment. That's it. He doesn't need to know what clinic. He doesn't need to know what it's for. He doesn't even need to know which physician. That's it. He just needs to know, hey, I have a doctor's appointment at this time, this place. That's it.
And that's what I was going to say the same and agree with you on. Yes, he has a right to know that his soldier as the commander, he has the right to know where his soldier is going and that it's for medical. because he has to have accountability.
Yeah. But that's it. That's all he needs to know.
As soon as he starts inquiring why or trying to get more knowledge on what the appointment is about and or for, like you were saying, then it becomes a HIPAA issue.
Right. And then, Ice brings up another amazing point. Where the fuck was his first sergeant on this?
Apparently not reading this fucking memo.
Because what first sergeant is going to allow this kind of bullshit to happen?
And I hate to say it, but it's probably a weak first sergeant then.
Like, Ice is going to kill you.
Tell me I'm wrong, Ice.
He's going to kill you.
That's not, if the first sergeant allowed this memo to get out, then it's a weak first sergeant not taking care of his Joes.
Spanky first sergeant must have been on appointment.
Oh, burn.
But no.
Shut up,
oh
Cole, you
my
don't know
God.
anything.
Like just the whole process up and down, right?
Yep.
Because you know someone in like legal had to see this, really. If it were to
you say that.
I mean, like I know when I worked in the orderly room, anytime my company commander wanted to push out a new memo, he would go to the fucking, what is it, battalion, right? It goes company battalion, right? Medcom, I don't know.
Yes, it goes company then battalion or troop then squadron.
I don't know. we had fucking, we had a captain in charge of full bird colonels somehow, right?
Nuances, yes, but continue.
Oh no, Ice agrees with you. This first sergeant is and he's yelling, fucking coward. But no, he'd go up to the battalion commander and he would consult with the sergeant major and with the first sergeant and be like, hey, is this within my abilities? Or am I stepping out of my lane? Or am I being, irrational and demanding that soldiers tell me what their fucking medical appointments are? Fucking idiot.
Again, he has a right to know when the appointment is and that it's for a medical reason. He is the commander. He needs to have accountability of his troops.
But okay, so then what the fuck is the point of a squad leader or a team leader or a platoon sergeant who is in charge of all these people? Right.
Who has the ultimate responsibility and authority for those individuals? The company commander.
I mean, yes, once you get down to it. However, it's up to the team leader, the squad leader, the fucking platoon leader, and, platoon sergeant to know where their people are at all times. And so when it comes to accountability issues, that's why you do the whole fucking report thing, right? In a formation. Like, again, I'm MedCom, 10 years, born, raised MedCom. So I don't really understand the whole formation thing because, true story. So I was stationed at Fort Irwin and we were doing morning PT, right? And we were doing it like company PT. And so we had 3 fucking platoons, right? And it was me. It was in first platoon, which was Department of Nursing. It was me. And I was the only one there standing in front of nobody. And so first sergeant is receive the report and I fucking salute and I'm like, Specialist Minx, one accounted for. I don't know how many people are supposed to be in here. I don't know where they're all at, but I'm here.
I'm here.
True story.
I'm good.
He started laughing. I was like, I don't know. Nobody else is here. It's just me.
So Veterans Report chimed in on our Facebook Live feed there. Wait until by virtue of figuring out the coinciding appointments, the Hero Zero finds out his wife got the clap from one of his specialists. Stick that in MDMP.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. No, but seriously, this captain, he's delving into dangerous waters when it comes to HIPAA.
I would agree with that. If he starts trying to figure out what is
Like,
what is actually being seen for.
Yeah, which is completely against the law. Has been since, what was it, 1974? And it's
Privacy Act?
ridiculous. Yeah, I think it was 1974.
Privacy Act of 1974.
Woohoo! I knew it. Which is good considering I get tested on that every year. But no, like, you know, and then if you get some if he were to call a clinic and it's some brand new E2 who's straight out of AIT, doesn't like really know what the fuck to do, if that commander goes up and starts harassing that E2 at the front desk, like, no, you need to tell me what my soldier is here for, what do you think that soldier's gonna do?
That E2 is gonna, well, that E2 is gonna call for his supervisor.
By law, that E2 should tell that captain to go suck a dick, like, but, you know, in more respectful terms. So make sure to add a sir in there at some point. But then and be like, you know, with all due respect, asshole, I cannot tell you this information because then I'll be fined $25,000 and I don't make that kind of money as an E2. So again, sir, suck a dick. See, you got to throw that sir in there. Otherwise, it's disrespectful.
It's like, bless your heart, right?
Right? No, but you're right. You know, what the E2 should do is go get their supervisor. Will that happen? We don't know. Because, you know, what if their supervisor's out at a fucking meeting?
Right. So, little background on how I got educated on HIPAA.
Oh, did you violate it?
No. I didn't know what I could and could not ask. As being the escort and supervisor. So I get there and, you know, I was looking to see what, basically I want to know when he needed to become Gittin is what I was trying to get at. And I started asking, will the command need to be briefed or something like that? Or is there somebody that we should talk to after this is done? And then I finished up with, how long is this going to take so we can plan on being back here in the appropriate amount of time? And I was educated by a specialist, I think it was. It said, sir, the only thing I can tell you on all those questions is that it's going to be about an hour. I said, so there's nothing. She said, nope, everything else falls under the HIPAA. But I can tell you it'll probably be an hour-long appointment. I said, easy enough. Thank you much.
That's all you need to know.
Yep. So I went and got my coffee and came back.
Right. Oh, Pook, Christopher brings up a good point. If you catch a bullshit Article 15, take it to court-martial.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Nope. Commander still, Commander still have to respect HIPAA?
Yeah,
Huh?
I know.
Yeah.
They do. Shocking. I know. But they do. Everybody has to respect HIPAA.
Yes. It's a big deal.
It is. It's a very big deal. The only time HIPAA is not a big deal is if you are downrange and you're working on local nationals.
Yep. Oh, immediate. Is there a clause in there for immediate threat?
All I know is that I was allowed to take pictures of someone's face
I remember
while I was downrange.
Wow, this is our second HIPAA in 3 weeks. I remember you brought that up, the picture of the face thing, the reconstruction thing.
We got shot right here, and we were like, oh, this is awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, freaking. But, you know, especially, it gets kind of in a gray area when it comes to, like, Spencer. He likes the HIPAAs. Right. But no, it kind of reaches a gray area when it comes to working on the local nationals and, you know, or POWs and everything and whatnot.
Right.
I don't know, because again, it's gray area. You try to respect it as best you can, but sometimes you don't, or you're unable to. So, just to let everyone know, we have not yet talked about 7th Special Forces Group. We are going to do that after our first break. Simply because I'm going to be opening up the phone lines because I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. We have been given clearance to go, what was the right phrase? Open season on them and just fucking just destroy them apparently. So that's going to be coming up here soon. Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a quick first hour.
It was a very, very quick first hour.
I didn't expect that memo from Captain Cav to chew up that much time, but that was really awesome.
Right? Fucking Captain Cav.
Captain Cav! Thank you for the many laughs.
Oh my God, does 7th group respect HIPAA? I don't think so. They don't really respect women considering they beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, there's a...
Looking at you, Major Satori. Looking at you.
Oh, there's a... Yeah.
What did 7th group do? Okay, so brief synopsis of what 7th group did. Something along the lines of blackmail, sex scandals, domestic violence. Literally, he broke this chick's fucking elbow. Oh yeah, he strangled his wife.
Yep.
A lot of covering it up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, 7th group, you've been naughty. Mm-hmm.
Should we drop Lincoln here pre-break?
No.
Or post?
We'll do it when we start talking about it.
Okay, I'm good with that.
So yeah, but this report is coming from, SOFREP, which is apparently a special forces reporting. What's the right word? Outlet. There we go.
Yes, let's use outlet.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good story. So we shall be right back. Everybody, hang tight. We are going to get to 7th Special Forces Group here in literally 7 minutes. So hang tight and enjoy the break, and we'll be right back.
Shots.
Noon. Gotta get it together, I gotta stay in tune. Same time's against me, but I hate to rush. Gotta keep it between the lines until I hit the dust. I gotta buy some time. The key to freedom lies across the state line. It's a daily ritual, this game I play. In the life of a shadow man with a debt to pay. Hit the gravel with my hand on the radio. Here I am again. take me anywhere. But I was born to travel along this lonely road to nowhere. Like this life that I lead, it might not take me anywhere. But I was born to travel along this lonely road to nowhere.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Fucking answer your phone, AK. God damn it, answer your phone.
I heard somebody talking about anal sex on the radio, so I figured I'd give my story. Give me a call back. Alright, bye.
Hello. I don't know what you're trying to do with all these British accents, but I'd really like it if you could call me back so I could read something for you. Bollocks. I just burnt my hair with my, rolled marijuana. Stupid strawberries and crumpets. I don't like it. Have a good day.
Hey baby, you gave me your number in the fucking bar. This is fucking Lewis. How you doing? I don't know why you ran off in such a rush. Yeah. I know you're digging my vibe, baby. Just give me a call back. You know the number.
Go fuck yourself, Bobby.
Hey, just wanted to talk about your guys' radio show and how awesome it is and the other guys sucked. Anyway, yeah, make America great again.
I don't know how to use this. Oh, velvet.
Put the monkey down. Oh, God. Never mind. Hey, brother, we need to get your show nationwide on this Sirius radio or satellite or something. Kind of hard to watch it when it comes on this damn little cell phone. Let's see what we can do to get you nationwide. Love to see you. Love to hear you. Continue on.
You guys need more fucking lines if they're all busy.
What the fuck?
Get some more. Let me shit in your mouth.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Oh, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around. Hello, Facebook again. Hello, Mixer. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Twitter, and everyone else who's going to be listening to the podcast later on. We are back with 7th Special Forces Group.
Oh, this.
All right, so it's kind of confusing because it centers around one woman by the name of Jennifer O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. All right, so the title of this article, which again is from SoPrep, the title of the article is Dick Pick 6, the 7th Special Forces Group Sex and Blackmail Network. Now, this involves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people, or I should say 9 Special Forces soldiers and 1 woman. Currently, 5 of the soldiers have been named and identified, and there's 4 that are still kind of like blacked out. So the article goes, in recent months, the behavior of Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein and the allegations made against him by dozens of women has taken America by storm and set off a chain reaction of women coming forward to speak about workplace sexual assault, sexual harassment, and the boys' club that perpetuates this type of bad behavior. While the entertainment industry has been rocked the hardest by this scandal, others have gone more or less unaffected. Sexual assault in the military has at least entered the public consciousness over the last decade, but many stories remain buried, suppressed, and untold. Our story begins with Colonel Christopher Riga. He's Brigadier General now. Christopher Riga agreed to hire Jennifer O'Brien as the group secretary in 2012, who soon became notorious within the ranks of 7th Special Forces Group. The group's deputy commanding officer, Robert Kurilla, and the unit's executive officer, Dave Gunther, interviewed her and made the recommendation to hire O'Brien. As the group secretary, she appeared to be a competent employee at first, but over time, it became apparent that she had so many affairs that they were impossible to keep track of. She was quite open about her relations with team sergeants, sergeants major, and officers within the unit. Each day, O'Brien would gather with the Green Berets in the group conference room for beer, where she would recount her latest conquests. Although a civilian employee, these exploits were technically in violation of the UCMJ for the soldiers involved who were married, as outlined in Article 134, which pertains to adultery. O'Brien herself was married to an airman during this time. It gets better. There were other Special Forces soldiers who came to learn of these relationships and developed concerns about them. In one instance, O'Brien was observed crying at her desk. When they asked what was wrong, she declined to explain. However, as the weeks went on, she began to open up to some of the 7th Group soldiers in the office about how she had been seeing an officer in the unit, but when she broke it off, he kept harassing her by sending her pictures of his genitalia. At first, she did not want to name the individual, but later on, as events began to spiral out of control, she revealed that it was the commander of the 7th Group's 3rd Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Bowling. As it turned out, he was so prolific with this that his own men nicknamed him Dick Pick 6. Sorry, my nose itches. When the new incoming group commander, Colonel Michael Ball, took over, he began to make some honest efforts to clean things up in his headquarters, but faced significant obstacles due to the amount of leverage that O'Brien had, especially when it came to the tranche of emails, text messages, and pictures she had in her collection from married men in 7th Group. Ball was not a prior 7th Group officer and not part of the old boys club in the unit. He was straight-laced and by the book. The situation came to a head when it was discovered that O'Brien was also abusing crystal meth. At this point, Colonel Ball and others saw this as an opportunity to purge O'Brien from the unit. A 15-6 investigation was initiated, and the military police were informed so they could sweep the group headquarters with drug-sniffing dogs. Interestingly enough, O'Brien was conspicuously absent that day. Some say she was tipped off by someone in headquarters. Only a few select would have known that the MPs would be coming. Meanwhile, an officer named Major Jason Sartori came to the unit and was slated to take command of Charlie 37, the 7th Group Commanders in Extremist Force that specializes in counterterrorism operations. Satori and Bowling both started off in 5th Special Forces Group prior to making the jump to the 7th Group. Allegations have been made that when Sartori's wife found electronic messages between him and O'Brien, a confrontation began. At that point, Major Sartori allegedly tried to strangle his wife. Several sources went on to allege that Sartori was also physically abusive with O'Brien, who eventually broke things off with Sartori. In an online posting, O'Brien stated that, quote, "Because of a relationship I had with a monster, a soldier with whom I worked, I've been indefinitely suspended and placed in a no-pay status as a Department of the Army civilian," unquote. Along with her statement, she posted a series of photographs showing bruising and an apparent broken elbow, injuries she alleged suffered at the hands of Sartori. In an interview with SOFREP, Sartori viciously denied any allegation of physical abuse against his now ex-wife or O'Brien. Sartori was arrested for false imprisonment, strangulation, battery, and intimidating a witness, but these charges were later dropped. As what? Oh, you were going to say something?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Then I shall continue reading. As the 15-6 investigation continued, O'Brien played a shrewd game of cards by withholding the significant amount of blackmail material and threatening to release bits and pieces of it as needed. Investigating officers and other officers in the unit, to include Colonel Ball, were also asking 1st Special Forces Command for assistance in their efforts to clean up the unit's problems, but were receiving zero support from their parent command. Special Forces Command not only denied support, but outright told 7th Group to stand down their investigation and not make waves. No one understood why at the time. Nonetheless, O'Brien was placed on administrative leave and had her clearance suspended. Jason Sartori states that he had a board an inquiry looking into the charges against him. The board recommended an other than honorable discharge. Sartori says that he elected to resign his commission instead. Other witnesses spoke to SOFREP on the condition of anonymity, because they feared retaliation from their unit and had already experienced punitive actions for speaking out against unethical, immoral, and illegal activities. Some were intimidated and threatened. One source went as far as to describe Sartori as a fucking psycho. All right, so we're going to pause right there. So I'm pretty sure 7th Group, you done fucked up. Well, not even 7th Group. Special Forces Command in general.
Yeah, how do you not go to the aid of a unit that's requesting it for an issue that seems to be bigger than what they can handle? How do you not help out that subordinate command?
But not only that, but then tell them to drop the investigation.
Well, based on what we've gone through so far, and obviously this individual has no limits on what they're willing to do, what does that individual have on somebody up at command?
Right? Like, I kind of want to know what this chick has on these people.
I mean, it could, apparently there might be other issues at play with said individual. Well above 7th Group, apparently. Not make waves? Right. What does that... That implies that there's something else going on.
Mm-hmm. Either way, if like, it doesn't denote a woman being strangled or beaten. But all right, let's finish this article. So it goes on to say, it was also at this time that O'Brien attempted to use her text messages, emails, pictures, and videos from her encounters with senior ranking Green Berets to blackmail them into helping her get her job back as the group secretary. Special favors may have been exchanged earlier on, but now the investigation was too big and out of the hands of the colonels and sergeants majors who may have helped her beforehand. Placed on leave with a suspended security clearance, Jen began working up a hit list of men that she was going to take down with her. She carefully controlled the flow of blackmail material up until the time that it became apparent that she would not be getting her job back. At that point, O'Brien made claims to unit members that she had a silver bullet that could bring down the entire Red Empire, referring to, of course, 7th Special Forces Group's nickname. In early November of 2017, Command Sergeant Major Brian Rary was removed as the senior enlisted soldier in 1st Special Forces Command. He has been one of the names on O'Brien's hit list. Suddenly, it made sense why Special Forces Command had stipended the investigation to O'Brien. It would have been a question of self-preservation for the unit's command sergeant major and potentially many others in echelons above 7th Group. The investigation did not just ensnare Rary, but also Dave Bowling, who, like I said, was Colonel, right? So Dave Bowling, Jason Satori, and a half dozen senior Special Forces officers who compromised themselves with O'Brien. Some have gone on to high-level positions, including the Pentagon. In the end, Colonel Ball was the only one who tried to get rid of O'Brien, while the vast majority of senior NCOs and officers in 7th Group tried to cover up scandal after scandal surrounding her and the men she slept with. For the men of 7th Special Forces Group, the actions of their senior leaders came across as a double standard. Their officers and senior NCOs were exposed as hypocritical leaders who would lecture the enlisted men about discipline and punish them for indiscretions, while they themselves were setting a negative example with illicit affairs, covering up for their buddies, engaging in physical abuse against women, and more, all without any fear of punishment until their activities finally spun outside their control and cannot be kept under wraps any longer. For instance, Dave Bowling went to be Major General Kraft's S-3 officer in Iraq as part of Operation Inherent Resolve in 2015. For many of the witnesses and bystanders at 7th Special Forces Group, the entire episode is emblematic of the culture that exists in their unit, covering down on the Southcom area of responsibility, which includes Central and South America. These Green Berets are often exposed to women in foreign cultures where casual sex is not as taboo as it is for soldiers assigned to, say, 5th Special Forces Group that covers the Middle East. Take, for example, the story about 7th Special Forces Group soldiers in Colombia that emerged after a Secret Service agent refused to pay a prostitute.
$50, yo.
That said, others feel that this is a naive point of view and that the issue is one of Special Forces culture more than any particular area of operation. One female soldier pointed towards a team house that was frequently visited by Kurdish prostitutes in Iraq, for instance. Temptations will always present themselves to deployed soldiers. A former Special Forces officer was even more blunt about this subject, saying that these Green Berets, quote, married young and now their wife is fat, and they think that they are a pipe hitter and can do whatever they want. O'Brien wrote, Quote, I have been publicly humiliated, slut-shamed when my personal emails and intimate pictures were printed and included in an official investigation by a command with a personal vendetta, hell-bent on firing a tenured civil servant. The pictures and emails she referred to would have been included in the 15-6 investigation as evidence. However, O'Brien is also commenting on how 7th Group maintained a good old boys club. One source with knowledge of the scandal told SOFREP that she thinks the behavior of these Green Berets is largely ego-driven. Quote, they think they are better than everyone else and have never gotten caught. I think 7th Group takes it further than any other Special Forces groups with infidelity. A lot of it probably has to do with where they go, South and Central America. While she was fired, other officers and senior enlisted leaders remain in their positions. At the very worst, they are allowed to quietly retire. O'Brien was both a victim who suffered physical abuse, but also a cunning player who aggressively sought out sexual relationships with multiple men at her workplace and then attempted to use those relationships as leverage. She may have broken regulations, if not the law, but she certainly was not the only one. A small army of all too willing Green Berets were right there with her. At this time, the investigation into O'Brien and at least 7 officers involved with her continues. SOFREP filed a Freedom of Information Act request for the multiple 15-6 investigations that have been carried out in regards to Jen O'Brien and her associates, but was told by USASOC, Ice is going to yell at me for that, that they he hates when I call it that. That they could probably never be released due to privacy concerns, but that their response is currently sitting with their JAG office. They also stated that they destroy 15-6 investigations after 3 years, eliminating all paper trails. SOFREP also contacted USAC's PAO, who said that they could not comment on an ongoing investigation. SOFREP reached out to Dave Bowling, Brian Rary, and John O'Brien, who did not reply to inquiries prior to the publication of this article. That's it.
I'm looking up something real quick.
Okay. Freaking. So that's Special Forces Group. Or, sorry, 7th Special Forces Group. But it actually goes all the way up to Special Forces Command. So, congratulations, Special Forces. Y'all done fucked up.
$50. Just saying.
All right, $50 is $50.
You didn't learn your lesson about $50. When the Secret Service fiasco happened, why would you learn your lesson now?
Right. All right, Grey Cloud, I want to hear your opinion on all of this.
Well, she played them well. Like the article says, she was cunning enough to capture data points to protect herself, but also ensure that if she was going to go down, she was bringing the whole house of cards with her. Which I give mad props to for her being that prepared on that situation. But this goes back to that whole, this goes back to shows I've had on before, and the piece I played on New Year's Day when it's asking about where are those leaders at. Obviously, those leaders are not in 7th Special Forces Group. And it is a culture issue, and it is a do as I say, not as I do, man, mindset that we're starting to see in the current army, right? I make the rules, but my own rules don't apply to me. Well, that's a terrible philosophy to have, and all you're doing is training those Joes and those junior officers to have the same mentality, right? Oh, when I make rank, this shit I'm gonna do how I want, and I'm not gonna do it any other way. And that cycle will just perpetuate, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously, this has been an ongoing issue based on the number of senior officers and senior NCOs that are involved with this. This is something that they think is okay, and it's not.
Right.
And again, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. I feel we have to have faith in our judicial system, whether that be the civilian side and or the military side. We have to have faith in that system that's going to do right. And if the one individual actually beat her,
she has pictures of it. The fact that, I think the fact though that those charges, the domestic violence charges that were filed against him, were dropped, is alarming.
Yeah.
What is the Lautenberg Act? Is that how you say it?
The Lautenberg Amendment, prevents a soldier. Well, sorry, somebody who's convicted of domestic violence falls under the Lautenberg Amendment. What that means is, if you are convicted of misdemeanor domestic violence, you are no longer allowed to own or possess a firearm.
Oh, which is that should have happened with that Air Force vet that shot up that church in Texas a couple months ago.
Right. So therefore, if you fall under Lautenberg, you cannot be a soldier in the United States military.
Right, because you can't possess a weapon. And
right. So technically, if you really want it, there is one MOS you could do as a
chaplain.
Fallen under Lautenberg.
Chaplain.
And that's chaplain.
Yeah.
But let's be real. I'm not gonna let you in my army if you're under Lautenberg.
Right. Okay. But no. But since his domestic violence charges were dropped, he no longer falls under Lautenberg.
Right. He is not convicted.
And he was allowed to resign his commission instead of getting an other than honorable discharge.
Yes.
Which, how does that work? Fucking officers. No, that's bullshit.
Well, when you are an officer...
Officers can go suck a dick. Sorry.
Wow. When you're an officer, and they are doing either some kind of board, whether it be show cause or something that says that we are going to look at you for possible separation, you are given that option. You can either proceed with the board, or you can resign your commission.
Okay, so take the easy way out and avoid any sort of, I don't know, responsibility and repercussions of what your actions fucking did.
From a military standpoint, yeah, that's what they would be doing. They would be avoiding any possible military action. Now, if the crime was egregious enough, they could be brought back. And if the charges were good enough and the prosecution felt strong enough, they could be brought back to active duty to face those charges as a soldier or, as an officer in the United States Army. However, they are usually given that up either. So basically, you are quitting in lieu of being fired is how it comes down. And if you quit and you get at least a general discharge, more likely they probably got honorables for resigning their commissions, then obviously the benefits that come with said discharge are much better than other than honorable, big chicken dinner and or dishonorable. Big chicken dinner, by the way, is bad conduct discharge.
Yeah.
For those who may not know.
But no, I want to know what's going to happen now. Because obviously she's posted these pictures, the one on her fucking elbow. Oh, Great Cloud, did you want to drop the link in there in the chat so people can look at these pictures?
Let me get it quick.
But if you look at this picture of her elbow, it's fucking bruised all around here. And it's classic bruising for an elbow fracture. Fucking, it's ridiculous. It doesn't matter if, your side piece broke up with you or if your wife caught you having an affair. That's not grounds to A, strangle your wife, or beat the shit out of your side piece.
No,
Like-
I got that. And that I totally understand. I agree with you on. There,
Like-
unless she is physically attacking you, you should never have to lay your hands on said individual.
Yeah. You know, and it's just fucking. But then for the fucking charges to be dropped, like that's what
Right.
gets me is that these charges were fucking dropped when there's picture evidence of domestic violence and domestic abuse.
Right. And that's a really terrible prosecutor.
Do you think they were dropped because he was Green Beret? Do you think?
I think
Do you think Seventh Group got into the PMO office and said, "Y'all are gonna let him go. Y'all are gonna drop these charges"? And because they're special forces, and let's face it, special forces does have a history of getting whatever they want and getting away with whatever they want. Because again, they are considered, the elites, the Green Berets.
I think if they were dropped on the military side, I think that there were some strings pulled, and either some very senior birds were involved, or some stars were involved in getting the charges dropped. If it was on the military side, I cannot speak for the civilian side. They have their own threshold for evidence and whatnot for charges and so on and so forth. However, my opinion is that somebody might have been involved to get those charges dropped on the Seventh Group side. Because what that does is, if you get the charges dropped, like it says in the article, it starts to build that layer of protection back up to try and cover everything up to make sure it doesn't get out. Well, it's out of the bag now, Dick Pick 6. And it's just going to continue to spiral out of control. Apparently, there's still a 15-6 going on. My issue with it is, and out of the whole article, my big issue is that this is still in USASOC channels. They're going to protect their own.
Because that's what they've always done. USASOC always protects their own.
This needs to be pulled out of those channels and pushed to HQDA.
I think it's getting there, though, especially given that this whole catastrophe really goes up to Special Forces Command, let alone First Group. Right. And then I think now with it being, really brought out to public, what with Soft Rep and then us.
Yep.
I think that will garner enough, because let's face it, this looks terrible for special ops. Let alone Green Berets, it looks terrible for special ops in general.
Right.
So that includes civil affairs and psyops and fucking everyone else. What? Rangers are considered that? I don't know. Deltas?
The new SFAB.
Yeah, SFAB. But it makes the whole special ops community look bad. Yep. And, and I agree with you, special ops does have a history of looking after their own, of taking care of their own, and of, kind of covering up for people within their community. But I think now, especially with what's going on these days with the #MeToo, #MeTooMilitary, and the real crackdown on sexual misconduct, I think they have no choice but to crack down on this. Because if they don't, I think that's when Big Army's going to get involved.
And they, at this point, they should already be involved.
Yeah.
HQDA HQDA should already be involved in this. And I lost the thought now, but you'd hit on it. Dang it. But it goes back to that fundamental thing where it's got to happen. There has to be accountability for somebody or several individuals on this whole issue, because without it, they're just going to continue to perpetuate this cycle, and that this is okay, and it is not.
Right. But even if, what I don't understand is, like, you know, with a couple of these 15-6s being just dropped for allegedly no reason, there should have been some sort of UCMJ proceeding to at least say, oh yeah, you know, the investigation had no findings. You're cleared of all charges. But that didn't happen. It was just, the investigation was dropped.
Right. And here's my thing. Oh, and so I'll jump on that quick. Right. And then so for those of you who don't know, DOD falls under NARA, which is National Archives Records. Oh, man. And Administration, I think is what it is. But my question, are they in violation of NARA for destroying those records? Are they in violation of a SORN that the DOD is a part of for those types of things? Because let's face it, a lot of these investigations could qualify for other items where they fall under NARA and or SORN, or a SORN of some sort, and they've destroyed legal documents or official documents, and now those documents are destroyed, and then they have violated 2 other federal statutes, which includes NARA and a SORN possibly, destroying documents sooner than they should have been. And then the other thing I was going to say is, and you hit it on your head, is as this gains traction, we have huge reach. So, you know, this story being published in SoftRep, and then us picking it up and running with it, there's huge reach for this story. So if it's not being seen at HQDA, it'll get there soon enough.
Yeah.
It's going to get there, and people are going to notice, and they're going to want to know what the hell is going on. So it'll get there.
Ugh, fucking ridiculous.
It's and Josh Crowner in a Facebook live chat, yeah, correct. The good old boy system will never die. It won't, because it'll always exist in some way, shape, or form. Unfortunately,
the good old boys club.
Right. And when it's used to cover something like this up, it's disgusting. It truly is. And that's what this is. They're using it to cover up their buddies and help them out. And eventually they come across somebody who they're not willing to tangle with, or they underestimated, and everything's going to start falling apart. And obviously it is over at 7th Group that it's all coming down, and she was determined to bring it down.
Which she should have been. Fuck yeah. Dude, fuck yeah. I would have done the same goddamn thing. Like, oh, okay, so you're going to come after me? All right. Please do. Right? I'm taking all you like what I say when I play Grand Theft Auto. Like, I'm going to take us all out. I'm going down. Everybody's going down with me. It's true, I do that, and then I kill us all.
What vehicle is that we're usually running around in?
Huh?
What vehicle is that we're running around in usually?
The one of the helicopters.
Oh no, not the helicopter. The one that's heavily armored.
Oh, my Insurgent.
Yeah, the Insurgent. Yeah, takes us a while for. We all end up dying in it, but man.
But god damn it, I will take us all out. But no, I totally would have done the same goddamn thing. Like, oh, okay, you're gonna go. Okay. Like, we're just gonna choose to ignore the fact that all of y'all have been doing the same damn thing that I've been doing. But you're gonna come after me, and only me is gonna get punished. No. Like, that's not how this is going to work. So hopefully, fucking, like, it, you know, and even if she was smoking crystal meth, like, it's not an excuse to beat her.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Excuse to at least give credence to her story, to investigate it at least.
Like, I will say that, what's his name? Ball. Colonel Ball. I will say he at least tried to clean up house. I think he went about it the wrong way. I think, but at the same time, I think he did everything that he knew how to do, trying to clean up what was going on. The previous commanders of 7th Special Forces Group are completely guilty of this because they allowed this type of environment to happen. You know, like their first instance, this should have been squashed and she should have been sent like fucking packing.
Yeah.
You know, like the first instance where she was like, oh yeah, I totally banged that soldier over there. Y'all are both married. Like, one, like, adultery is really frowned upon in the military. Like, it's fucking like a big deal, right? But only for the men for some reason, which I don't understand.
Well,
I don't understand that. Why is it that male soldiers that commit adultery get punished more severely than female soldiers who do the same thing? Either way, you're both cheating on your spouse. So why is it that the one is being punished more harshly than the other?
Reasons?
No, that's not a good excuse. No. You got fucking equality, goddammit.
Well,
I'm like, you know, old school feminist. Fucking equality. Fucking if I get caught, you know, if I was married in the army and I got caught fucking someone else who was not my husband or spouse or whatever, I would expect the same treatment as any male counterpart.
But that's not how it works.
But why?
So look at the way the regulation is written for sexual assault in the army. The male soldier is automatically guilty if alcohol is involved.
That's another thing I've always had an issue with.
Look at the culture that the army perpetuates, right? When it says, Jack and Jill go out drinking, and they always say Jill cannot consent to sex because they've been drinking.
Well, Jack was also drinking, so therefore Jack also could not consent.
Right. But yet they're going to punish the male soldier immediately because that's how it's written and that's how it's looked at.
Right. I don't know. Just, ugh.
And, yeah,
Tyler says, I don't think he realized how big this scandal was. Tyler, I think he figured it out rather quickly when he first started the investigation and realized how much, just how much shit she had on the unit in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so you're reading the soft rep article as you're going through, and as you read through this article, Nation, the soft rep did it really well. One source went too far as to describe Satori as, quote, a fucking psycho, end quote. And then it's his mugshot.
He does. He looks like a fucking psycho.
Looks like he's ready to snap in that mugshot.
Right? He looks so pissed. And I'm like, yeah, no, fucking psycho. Yes. But then it also states his fucking charges.
Does state the charges.
You know, battery, touch or strike, domestic violence. He had 5 counts of that. Domestic battery by strangulation, 3 counts. kidnap, false imprisonment of an adult, and then harassing a witness, victim, or informant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and all of this was on the civvy side. So again, why were these charges dropped? Unless, I think the only way that these charges could have been dropped is if she herself went into the police station and said, no, I don't want to press charges.
Or that could happen. Another possible scenario, and I wish we could get Jagan on this, is that the military prosecutor could have been working with the civilian prosecutor saying, hey, look, we want this guy. We want to take it. So we're going to need you to drop your charges so we can fully pursue all our charges if the investigation is still ongoing. That's just a theory, and we would need our JAG to chime in on that.
Where is Judge?
I think Judge is on vacation or some garbage.
Who fucking signed off on his leave form?
The XO did.
He would.
Mm-hmm. hey, Judge is vacation too.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No.
But this is something we could easily start to follow, and because I'm sure it's not going to get any easier for Seventh Group at the moment.
But no, you brought up something which I didn't correct you on, because it was just brought up in a comment by Mud Puppy, which again I should have, caught up on this considering I've had my fair share of UCMJ. As soon as your name hits that goddamn blotter, you are guilty until proven innocent. UCMJ is not innocent until proven guilty. Which is why those 15 6s always end with UCMJ action. Whether it's, you are being cleared of all charges, or no, we are charging you and you've been found guilty by Article 15. If you choose to accept it, fine. If not, then we can go to court-martial. But either way, those 15 6s are supposed to end in some sort of UCMJ action. And the fact that they haven't is
and
alarming.
They were destroyed.
Yes. Well, no, they get destroyed after 3 years to eliminate any and all paper trail.
Right.
Which, that doesn't seem like that should be a thing.
Indubitably.
But.
And the blotter.
Right. But yeah. So that is what has been going on in Special Forces Command.
Gotta love it.
Specifically 7th Group. Oh wait, hold on. Let me say their names again. Specifically. Wait for it. Wait. Specifically, Brigadier General Riga, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Calera, Dave Gunther, Colonel Ball, Command Sergeant Major Rary, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Bowling, also known as Dick Pick 6, and Major Jason Sartori. And a couple who have not yet been named.
So I have some additional information.
Oh, go on.
Per Army Regulation 15-6, records not containing adverse actions or are high profile are to be kept for no less than 5 years.
Oh.
In both digital and print form.
5 years.
5 years. No less than 5 years.
So why then is Special Operations Command saying that we delete them after 3?
Because they're trying to protect themselves.
That whole thing.
And if there is adverse action or a high-profile case, the file will be kept for no less than 10 years.
So not 3.
Not 3.
No.
3 is nowhere in the scenario that as they are claiming.
Right. So the number of years that a 15-6 is to be kept is 5, not 3, not 4, but 5.
5 is the magic
6
number.
is too many. 5 is the right number. Oh, special ops.
So soft rep, if you're listening, call them on their bullshit of 3 years.
Right? Yeah. Because, wait, what? Can you name your source?
No, they don't want to do that.
Well, anyways, by regulation. Can you name the regulation then? If you can't name your source.
6.
Huh?
Army Regulation 15-6. That's the actual Army regulation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Learned something else today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. You done fucked up. Naughty.
Naughty.
God.
Oh, let's see here, because that. Oh, let's see what that says. So I know that. So the USASOC told by USASOC that they could probably never release due to privacy concerns, but that the response was currently sitting with the JAG office. USASOC also stated that they destroy 15-6 investigations after 3 years, eliminating paper trails. Wrong, USASOC. Your own the regulation states 5.
Right. The year of kept should be 5. No more, no less.
No, it can be more.
Right?
Because of high profile or adverse action, i.e., I think this would fall under high profile years.
Right. Although technically it should also fall under adverse action, considering somebody needs to be punished for all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. I know this whole thing triggered Ice. He was getting mad. Yeah. He got mad. He got pissed. He's like, there's no way to treat a woman. Yes, no, I agree. Like, I'm glad you're outraged.
This is some no matter what she has done.
Yeah. She doesn't deserve to get beat or to lose, like, I can't even say or to lose her job considering she was, like blackmailing them.
Yeah, that might be an issue, the blackmail piece.
That and then the fact how she kept sleeping around with married soldiers.
Yeah, well, that's a command issue for not, figuring that out sooner.
Yeah. I think fucking command knew. She was fucking command. Come on now. But yeah, I don't think. Were there grounds for her to lose her job? Obviously, yes. I think her coming forward with all this information, or I think where she fucked up though is when she did not hand over all the information right on the spot, and instead was like, "I'm gonna keep this to blackmail you because that's gonna turn out awesome." Right? Blackmail always works out really well.
Oh, here it is. So to help you with this, so I've got the from said source. Army Regulation 15-6, Section 3-19. High profile and complex cases are to be kept no less than 10 years, then sent to Army Records and Declassification Management Agency, then to NARA, which has a classified archive. So yes, USASOC, not 3 years, minimum of 5, maybe as much as 10, and then send it to another repository after you're done with it.
Right, so it can wait, not be destroyed.
Yep.
What?
What? But USASOC is again trying to sweep it under the rug and protect their badassery.
Right. Ooh, good point. Shouldn't this also show up on OERs? If you're under investigation, should that not show up on your OER? Or, if you will, the commanding officer of 7th Group, should not this story and this whole scandal fall on his OER? Considering there is not good order and discipline in his unit that he is in charge of.
So you could not cite specifics of the 15-6 and or the investigations in the OER itself. However, there would be a way to put said information to show that there was very bad issues under said command and or those individuals, whether it be OER and or NCOER.
Oh, and no, ICE, they have not destroyed records yet because, well, at least not the ones that are currently under, because this happened last year. So, whether or not the ones that have been dropped already, if those have been destroyed, we're not sure yet. But according to USASOC PAO, right? USASOC PAO. All the 15-6s are currently at USASOC JAG.
No, the FOIA is at USASOC JAG.
Oh.
FOIA request.
The FOIA request.
Which they're supposed to act on with good haste. And, again, if I were, I would find a high-profile military lawyer of some sort, and I would drag this through the mud.
Oh, yeah. I
would say, especially if you find somebody who knows regulations inside and out and knows the letter of the law and how to apply it for somebody trying to destroy records, because that falls under outside Army regulation and DOD regulation, and you start dealing with federal statutes on preserving records.
On that, but then also, wouldn't that also be an example of almost like perjury?
It could be. Destroying. It goes back to that destroying evidence thing.
Yeah. Not so much perjury, because unless they were to destroy it and then falsify it.
Yeah. Creating a false official document. There's a lot of things that this could fall under.
And then perjury can get added in there.
No. I'm just saying. Just saying there's a lot of ways it could go, and it's not looking good for USASOC.
A lot of ways. Well, I mean, but at the same time, I hope this is a fucking eye-opener for... Oh! Yes, and the memes have started! Oh my god, I love it.
That's awesome.
I need to steal it. Oh my god, yes. Joshua, yes. Oh my god. I love it. Absolutely love it. We're stealing it. That's amazing. Call sign Dick Pic 6.
Woohoo!
I love that he added that gay hat in there too. That's amazing. Yes.
Well, it's USASOC, so come on.
Come on. No, I hope this is a huge eye-opener, though, for Special Ops, realizing that y'all aren't above regulations, let alone the law. And that this sort of behavior, no matter how fucking elite you might think you fucking are, you're still a fucking soldier in the U.S. Army. You're still held to certain regulations. You're still held to high, and especially because you're considered elite, you should be held to higher standards than the rest of us. And that includes not beating on women just because you're fucking mad at them. And it includes, if you notice that it's a fucking hostile work environment, you need to fucking nip that shit in the bud. All of this could have been fucking prevented who knows how many years ago,
right,
when it all first started. But anyways, it's time for a break.
Time.
Break time. All right, you guys. We shall be back here shortly. And yeah, enjoy the break. We'll be back.
Ooh.
Yourself that everything's gonna be alright. Can you feel that there's a fire burning deep inside? Take the chance, get a better stance, and leave who you were behind. Who you were behind. Just follow your own light and find your place in the sun. Be who you are and don't get beat up for anyone. They can't take away the strength within you. Don't give up now, you've got to seize this moment. And what do you say when all the guilt has faded away? Will you give yourself a chance to say everything's gonna be okay? Can you see that there's not a thing that you can change? Forget the shame, stop taking the blame, and leave who you were behind. Who you were behind. Just follow your own light and find your place in the sun. Be who you are and don't get beat up for anyone. They can't take away the strength within you. Don't give up now, you've got to seize this moment. You've got to seize this moment. Find the strength within yourself. You've got to seize this Just follow your own light and find your place in the sun. Because that's how this game called life can be won. You've got all you need, it's right in front of you. The time is now and this is your moment. Just follow your own light and find your place in the sun. Be who you are, don't get beat up for anyone. They can't take away the strength within you. The time is now and this is your moment. To find your place in the sun.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
So sad to leave, but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end, it's over. I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. My only demon, my only regret is that I left you with scars so that you'll never forget. Sick of forgiving my mistakes and my faults. Shattered your glass heart to millions when I ripped it apart. There's nothing left. Love is gone. So there was a failure to communicate. So sad to leave, but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end, it's over. I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end, it's over. I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. There was a failure to communicate. So sad to leave, but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end, it's over. I'm finally sober.
Hello everybody, welcome back to part 3 of Tied Up Tuesday with myself, Minx, and my very ruggedly looking co-host, Gray Cloud, who's getting the beard back.
Yep.
What is that about?
Changes and reasons.
Right, you look so rugged with one.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Freaking all right. So, right? It excites me too. And Spanky, Spanky, we're totally gonna be doing a season 7 Game of Thrones marathon at my house this weekend. If you want to stop by. But no. Anyways, so.
Oh, I heard they canceled season 8.
Shut the fuck up. 1, 2, that's not true. And 3, it comes on next year.
No, I heard that they're going to pull the funding for it.
No, that's not going to happen there. Like, there's no way for that. 1, I'm pretty sure Spanky would kill whoever decided that. Like, obsessed.
I'm pretty sure she made that threat in one of the chats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's about to kill you now, too.
She said she's going to figure out how to protect our Martin.
Right? She's going to fight you. All right. Anyways.
Anyway.
So, as you guys, or I don't know if you guys were around during the first hour or not, I, Minx, have made a Twitter account, which I'm still learning how to use. I don't fucking know what I'm doing, right, with it. All I know is that I can fucking tag people and I can talk shit to them. And well, I've been having a good old time recently, especially today, actually, with 7th group. And I actually just posted that meme, thanks, Josh, on my Twitter account, and I tagged every single 7th SF group Twitter handle I could find, which was only like 3. So I need to work on my stalking skills on Twitter. But yeah, and then I was like, hey, look, this is for you guys. And then, I made sure to tag, WTF Nation Radio, US Army What the Fuck Moments, Judge Jose. So maybe we can get Jose down there to Eglin Air Force Base, Florida.
Maybe.
Anywho's, so one of the things that I've been doing here recently is kind of discussing the Golden Globes, which again, if you guys knew, which I didn't know, the Golden Globes are held Sunday, which again, I really didn't give a shit about. I didn't watch them. I don't like watching million/billionaires telling me how I should feel or think, and that they know what's best for me. No, it doesn't work that way. You are a trained monkey who I pay to entertain me. I don't care about your politics. So, that being said, something which I found rather ironic was that all of the women, except for one, all of the women wore black dresses as a movement of solidarity towards the alleged sexual harassment victims of Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey, and how, this is not a good thing. What they failed to mention, though, was that, this is only not a good thing because it's now in the public eye.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was fucking fine with this, and according to multiple reports from the victims, everybody knew it was happening, but yet nobody did anything because, again, it had not been made public knowledge. And something that I found was hilarious was when Oprah apparently won her Golden Globe and got up there and starts talking about how, women are being oppressed by these powerful men. And it's like, did you forget that you and Harvey were BFFs? Not even 2 months ago? Did you forget this? And there's reports from these, again, alleged victims because, guilt or innocent until proven guilty, right? So these alleged victims have made statements about how Oprah was practically feeding them to Harvey as though they were an offering to fucking Jabba the Hutt. And it's so the sheer hypocrisy that is the majority. And, you can't say all because then you get some who are like James Woods, and you're like, this guy's hilarious. But who's on the outs of them, or, Tim Allen even. But, the majority of Hollywood, they're so fucking hypocritical. A wall's racist, as I shout it from behind the wall that surrounds my mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping people out's racist, as I have armed security guards, right? Turn in your weapons, as I have an armed security detail.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's aggravating me. Like, one of the things that I cannot stand as a person, like, fundamentally, I cannot stand unfairness. I can't, I fucking know. Like, it irks me to the core. I hate it. I fucking, so, it's like, let's all just turn a blind eye to what fucking Oprah, the fact that, Oprah was friends with these fucking predators and was pushing these victims onto a predator. But you know what? Oprah for president. Oprah 2020.
Oh my God, I saw that. It was like in the article captured it pretty well, is that she thinks because she's in the public spotlight and all this other stuff. We saw how the GOP campaign ran, right? There'd be nothing held back in a 2020 campaign if she ran. She thinks it's brutal now with the way it's going. Get into the political arena with somebody like a Donald J. Trump or whomever else might choose to run on the Democratic side and see what punches don't get pulled when you're talking about the ultimate power in the land in this, becoming the POTUS. Because it'll be nothing like she's ever faced.
Like, my whole thing, which, again, I posted a picture on my Twitter earlier, was, 2016, when, 2015, 2016, when President Trump was running for election, the left was like, a billionaire who's a reality TV star and, businessman has no business running the country. He's not qualified to be president. And then Oprah's like, I might run for president. And they're like, oh my God, Oprah for president. And it's like, well, what's her fucking qualifications? Like, because she's got the same as Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. It's just she's a black woman and he's a white man. So what's the difference?
There isn't one, because, and here's what kills me about some of those comments I was reading when I was reading that article and whatnot, and they're saying that people like that should not be in politics. We need to let politicians run. Those that are involved in politics and the politicians run for those kinds of things. No, and I'm not getting fired up about this right now, but. Everybody should be able to run for office. And it should be anybody who the people elect to be in there. Period. End of story. And like I said, if Kid Rock runs and wins that Senate seat this year, right, because it's 2018, mm-hmm. then that should put a lot of faith back in the American people on anybody can truly run and represent their country and be a senator or a Congress or a representative or the president of the United States for that matter. It should not be careerist politicians who continue to line their pockets with our money and the money of corporations to get the bills that corporations feel need to be passed. Because I can tell you what, if you get Joe Snuffy in there from the South or boy from Montana or somebody from Alaska, the laws would be a lot simpler and everybody could understand them because that's the level they'll be written at. Because it'd be the common people running the show.
Right. Which, it's only how it was set up to do. But, whatever. I don't want you to go on one of your classic rants.
No, not tonight.
Are you sure? I can trigger you.
No, that's okay.
Dude, I've gotten so good at doing that too.
What?
Triggering you.
Well.
It's true. I'm so good at it. I know where all your buttons are.
Phrasing.
No, seriously, like, I'm pretty sure all I really have to do is be like, oh, Congress sucks. Why do we, but let's keep voting for the same people. And that's just going to set you off. You'll be like, God damn it! Go out and vote! And you sound like that too.
I do not sound that bad.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. I'm getting so good at that too. Come on. Come on.
Woo, woo, woo. Let's talk about something else.
Go on.
I have a story. I have a couple stories, but this one seems fresh off the press. After meeting, Trump says he still wants a wall. After White House meeting, negotiations on DACA continue on the Hill. Woohoo! Oh yeah, Nation, if you're not tracking, government shutdown is looming in like 10 days.
Oh shit!
Woohoo! Bring on the furlough. I could use a free vacation.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying. Just hours after a bipartisan meeting on the future of hundreds of thousands of young immigrants, President Donald Trump tweeted that he still wanted to see a wall on the southern border of the U.S. On the southern U.S. border as a part of any immigration deal. What exactly the wall would look like and whether it was simply a rhetorical battle in the negotiations wasn't immediately clear. A senior White House official told CNN that a wall would have to be a part of phase 1, quote unquote, of the immigration deal with Democrats. As of Tuesday evening, a Democratic congressional aide said Democrats were still seeking more clarity from the White House, noting that there may be some wiggle room between a wall across the border and border security. We don't have a lot of clarity on where they can land with that, the aide said. But this aide cautioned if the White House is insisting on the wall, negotiations could fall apart. So I'm going to stop right there. So Trump has not pushed the wall in the last couple of continuing resolutions so the government could stay funded. The first one, I think, was back in May, July-ish, somewhere in there. He didn't push the wall. He didn't push the wall issue. The one that was passed at the end of September-ish, something like that. That brought us to the December 9 deadline, and then that got extended for 2 weeks, and then it got extended again until the 19th of January. So he's not pushed this issue, right? But now there's time to try and. We're looking at a whole year with that needs to be funded yet, right? Yeah. We are through the first quarter of the new FY and we still don't have a budget. We've been operating on a continuing resolution, for a long time, frankly.
Yeah.
But they need to get this budget passed, and there's a lot of issues riding on it. However, he has not pushed for anything in that when those other CRs happened. And I know I said this last couple times, I don't think he's going to budge on the wall on this one. I truly believe that either he gets his wall, or one, it doesn't come out of the two houses, or two, it comes out of the two houses, doesn't have what he wants in there, and he doesn't sign the bill. He vetoes it. And then good luck getting 2/3 of Congress to pass it, because that's what it takes to override a presidential veto. But
sorry.
It's very confusing. If he's wedded to something ridiculous, then we can't, the Democratic said. The details matter a lot. Earlier in the day, after a meeting with Trump, key negotiators on an immigration bills in the Senate had said they were feeling more optimistic about the prospects for a fix to DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, set to expire in March. I'm actually more encouraged than ever. I think the president embraced a solution, said Senator Lindsey Graham, a South Carolina Republican. The one thing I did tell the president is there is no substitution for his involvement. He is the key person here. Congress needs his leadership and direction. But more work remains. And as always, Trump's position could shift. The meeting Tuesday was an unusually public one at the White House, with Trump keeping the press in the room for nearly an hour as he meandered from a variety of topics, from earmarks to immigration, and proclaimed he was open to signing just about any DACA bill that Congress sent him. I think my positions are going to be what the people in this room come up with. Trump said, if they come to me with things I'm not in love with, I'm going to do it because I respect them. Now, is he backtracking a little bit here, or is he trying to get something done so the budget gets passed?
I'm not sure. Maybe a little column A, a little column B. Simply because what is Trump's background? Business right. Negotiations. So what if all he's focused on right now is just, meeting halfway with something for right now, just to get a budget established.
Right.
And then really pushing for everything else later.
No, I could see that. Trying to get it, and that's KJ bring this up a lot with this compromise argument on what's really compromise is. Everybody asking for what they want, and then you back off, and everybody gets a little bit of everything, but not everybody gets everything they want.
Right. There's that, but then also, Trump has to be very smart about how he goes about this, because he won the presidency by selling the majority of the American people, hey, this is what I'm going to do while I'm in office. And what were those things? Fucking harder on immigration. He's going to build that fucking wall, or at least get it started. He's going to end the DACA program. If he doesn't uphold his campaign promises, if he does go for re-election in 2020, he's going to have a hard time, because they're going to be like, well, you told us you were going to get us this, and instead you negotiated with the Democrats to where now we're not getting what you said we were going to get.
Right.
So he has to be very careful on what happens.
And that could sink, again, your good point, and it could sink not only his re-election chances, but the party's re-election chances as midterms come up in that same year.
Yeah. And it could potentially also hurt midterm elections. Because right now, Republicans have majority in all of, the whole fucking Hill is ran by Republicans. In the Senate, that majority has now decreased.
Yep, by one.
Right? So Republicans are only ahead by one vote. It's almost split 50-50.
Yeah, it's 49 to 51.
Yeah.
And then with the vice president being a swinging vote if we need it.
Right.
But for anything that you need that 60% for, good luck.
Yeah. So it's going to be very difficult. I think if he does not pull through on some of these, has he done things? Has he fulfilled some campaign promises? Yeah. Yes, he has. One of them being he was talking about getting the GDP up to at least 4% in that first year of office, which he fucking did, which is really unprecedented. That's never happened before. And so he's shown that and people fucking hate him for this. They're going crazy. Oh my God, he's actually keeping his promises. The fuck's going on here? But, He's got to continue doing that, though.
He's got to. I think he's going to need to stand his ground on the wall piece. I really do.
Since the Democrats are pushing DACA, he's going to stand his ground on the wall.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, hey, if you guys want DACA, then I get a goddamn wall.
Yep.
And if I don't get my goddamn wall, y'all don't get fucking DACA.
Right. And again, I truly believe that if it comes to his debt, one, it's got to get out of both houses.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if that happens by the 19th. And then two, it's got to get to his desk, and he's got to actually sign the bill.
Yes.
And he could do it one of two ways. He could pocket veto it, or he could just flat out veto it. But again, if he vetoes it, right, you're not going to get 2/3 of Congress to override the veto. It's just not going to happen.
No, not at all.
Because let's face it, getting over the bare majority right now in Congress is almost an impossible task.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, just getting the simple majority, not even like a major, but the simple majority has been very difficult because our Congress act like spoiled preschoolers, and if they don't get their way, they throw tantrums.
Yep.
And then they have to take vacations every 10 days.
Yeah. Oh, the summer break is going to be interesting.
There's that. Like, honestly, how many days a year do they actually fucking do anything?
That calendar is actually published, and Nation, if you want it, you can go find it. You can find the congressional calendar on when they're actually in session, and their scheduled breaks for their entire year. Because they do work on a calendar year, because that's when individuals get sworn in. They get sworn in at the beginning of the calendar year, and they work the calendar year. But everything on the monetary basis is done on the fiscal year, which is 1 October to September 30.
Like,
you do make money,
right? Yeah, exactly. And then they make 6 figures a year for the rest of their life. It doesn't matter how long they've fucking served.
Yep. Yeah. If you want a cush job, get elected and then resign.
Right? Get elected and then be like, oh, I'm not going to do anything, and then just have a record of not voting for anything. Because then when it comes time for re-election, you can be like, well, I did not vote for that. Well, yeah, no, but you didn't vote for shit. You're right.
Shit. I know. See,
which means I am not responsible for any of this.
Oh, you don't want to re-elect me after 2 years? That's fine. I'm good.
Right? That's fine. I'm set.
I'm set. I'm gonna go retire in my cabin.
Right. God.
But it is terrible. Oh, it's terrible. All right, so that's enough of that one. So did you hear about the SpaceX failure?
No.
Yes. U.S. spy satellite. This is the headline of the story. U.S. spy satellite believed destroyed after failing to reach orbit. Officials. A U.S. spy satellite that was launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, aboard a SpaceX rocket on Sunday failed to reach orbit and is assumed to be a total loss. 2 U.S. officials briefed on the mission said on Monday. The classified intelligence satellite built by Northrop Grumman Corp. failed to separate from the second stage of the Falcon 9 rocket and is assumed to have broken up or plunged into the sea, said the 2 officials who spoke on the condition on anonymity. The satellite is assumed to be a write-off. One official said, wow, let's just write off a satellite.
Oh, my God.
The presumed loss of the satellite was first reported by the Wall Street Journal. Northrop Grumman built the multi-billion-dollar satellite, codenamed Zuma. Oh, my God. Do you remember that game, Zuma?
No.
A stupid computer game played downrange to pass the time. Anyways, codenamed Zuma and was responsible for choosing the SpaceX Falcon 9 launch vehicle, both officials said. An investigation is underway, but there's no initial indication of sabotage or other interference. SpaceX spokesman James Gleason said, we do not comment on missions of this nature, but as right now, reviews of the data indicate Falcon 9 performed anomaly. Space Explorations Technology Corp, led by entrepreneur Elon Musk, launched its first satellite for the military with its Falcon 9 rocket in May of last year. We're going to write off a total loss multi-billion-dollar rocket or a satellite.
Right? We're just gonna fucking write it off. It's gonna be fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's fine.
Hope you Geico.
No, oh my god.
Or Allstate.
Right.
Allstate has accident forgiveness, so it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Someone call Aflac in case anyone got injured.
Aflac.
No, I mean, wouldn't it be great if we still had a program that was really good at launching shit into space?
And putting it there.
What was that program? NASA, right?
So NASA.
NASA, right?
NASA. Wow, that's an interesting way to say it. NASA.
Right. NASA. No, it's NASA.
NASA.
It's
NASA
NASA.
still exists. However, our spaceflight program does not.
Then how do we still have people up in space?
Because we contract that out to other countries to get our astronauts up there.
Whose idea was that?
NASA's?
NASA's? Quick, we need a spaceship door gunner. Get 7th Special Forces. They can do it. They can do it. Send them up there.
But there's no hookers and blow, so what's their incentive?
It's true.
See?
Damn it.
It's all about hookers and blow and what they can get.
Right? Exactly, Mom. Like Kansas and Arkansas. NASA.
Oh, God.
Right. Oh, that's kind of humiliating, though. Having one of our launches not make it. Now we're no better than North Korea. Come on, you guys. Like, we got to do better than this.
Okay, so tinfoil at that time.
Oh.
What actually made it? And it was a ruse.
But it crashed.
What? It could have made it.
But it crashed.
What you're saying? I'm saying there's a chance.
But it crashed. And it, I think they found debris, right?
I don't know about that.
But it crashed.
Spanky. True Spanky, I do not know if there are hookers and blow on the ISS. But there's a good chance that there's not.
Right? Maybe not.
There's a good chance that there's not. Now everybody's questioning it. Is there proof that it crashed?
Right? Yeah. But did it crash? Right? The satellite made it, but maybe not the component that drove it into orbit.
Oh, man.
Right. Oh, speaking of North Korea.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
North Korea is bound for the Winter Olympics after meeting with a group in South Korea. After meeting with a group of people from South Korea at the DMZ, they've come to an agreement to allow North Koreans into South Korea for the Olympics, which happen next month. However, South Korea has proposed that they walk under one Korean flag like they did in the 2006 Winter Games. No word on if North Korea has accepted those terms.
Again, I go back to my theory, the tinfoil hat theory of why they want this.
Right? They're gonna send in bioweapons.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna infect all of their fucking athletes with fucking anthrax and smallpox.
Yep.
And fucking who the fuck? Oh, bubonic plague maybe.
I don't think that incubation period is long enough.
We don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a couple centuries since that happened. So we got to start that shit back up. Ooh, another one, Spanish flu. That took out a good portion of the population after World War I.
Yes.
So
I'm telling you, I think this is some kind of ruse. I like that word tonight, ruse. Ruse.
It's a ruse.
Ruse. No, I think there is something that the North Koreans have planned to try and do something. And it's probably nefarious. Did you just snort?
Yes. Because you totally sound like the dad from American Dad right now in the pilot episode. Like something could go down at some place at some point in time. So look sharp. Continue. I'm so sorry. Nefarious. It's a ruse.
It's a ruse and it'll be nefarious. But think about that though. That would be absolutely brilliant to plan it that way. It's a ruse.
It's a ruse.
But no, I mean, if you do something with a longer incubation period before it becomes contagious and whatnot, so as the games are ending and whatnot,
that's when people start getting sick.
Huh?
I said, so as the games are ending, that's when everybody gets sick.
Right. Well, that's as they get sick, or as that becomes available to be passed around and to infect everybody else. You infect that population, and by the time that the signs and symptoms are showing, they're already back in general population in their home countries.
Exactly, Michael. It's a trap, Admiral Akbar.
Yep.
It is. It's a trap. But no, let's think about it. What could they possibly do? Like, okay, so we've smallpox, anthrax, bubonic plague, Spanish flu. Which again, let's remember, CDC in Atlanta has samples of all of this shit.
They do. They do have vials on storage to create a vaccine if ever needed again.
Cholera, maybe? I don't know. That's still a thing, right? Ebola.
Maybe not. No, Ebola is too fast acting. That'd be picked up at the Olympic Village.
Right? Like, shit. People are fucking choking on their own blood. Ooh, tuberculosis.
Oh, TB would be terrible.
However, if you think about it, that's something we're all tested and warned about when we go into third world countries. And what is North Korea if not trying not to be a third world country?
They're trying to get to a third world country status?
I think they're trying to get at least to second world, but let's face it, they're at third. The majority of the country is third world. But, so you have risk for TB because fucking all third world countries have that fucking risk. Ooh, good. Yes. Polio, scarlet fever. Yes. Oh my God, yes. See, man. I like where you guys are going on this.
Good stuff.
I'm trying to think what else.
Those are all the good ones. Come on.
Measles, mumps, rubella. What all do we get fucking vaccinated against?
Right, and what's scary about some of these is that
cholera and not washing your hands, shitting in your drink.
What?
The comment. Cholera is not washing your hands, shitting in your drinking water. BS. I'm gonna start crying. Oh my god. That was good. I needed that. Ooh, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Yes, Evan, yes. Ooh, Pink Eye's a good one too.
Pink Eye. Yeah, that'd be.
That would be devastating. Although apparently, I've had the mumps. It's just a funny word, mumps.
But if you think about it, something that's vaccinated against here or is no longer, that needs to be vaccinated against, that would be well played, because it's not being expected and it's not being the exposure would be more effective, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I.e., smallpox, scarlet fever, and things of that nature, where it's not one of those ones that you would readily be preparing for. Yeah, you can prepare for smallpox and anthrax and yellow fever and all those other things, but you bring back like a scarlet fever or smallpox, then we're going to have some issues because the population would not be prepared for an outbreak of that.
No, not at all.
Nature. Right. So, I mean, if North Korea is going to do something, I see that's what they would do.
I agree.
So,
I agree. Well,
give them all worms. They did find a lot of parasites in that one soldier.
right? They did. Fuck. Ugh. Do you want to do the show lineup? It's housekeeping time.
Is it housekeeping time already?
It is. And it's a big list, too. We've got a lot of upcoming guests.
Got a lot of good stuff coming, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can handle it, I guess.
Just the show lineup.
Just the show lineup? Okay, you can do the guests then.
Yeah.
Right. So, housekeeping. Nation, as you know, we have a show 6 nights a week at the moment. And that show runs from 20 to 2300 Eastern Standard Time. We'll start off with tonight, which is Tied Up Tuesdays with myself, Grey Cloud, and my lovely co-host Minx.
Hello.
Tomorrow is our off night. And then we roll into Thursday, which is Sergeant's Time from 20 to 2300. And that's Ice and guys from the main page talking about all things active duty and Sergeant's timing. And we cover a lot of good topics on that show. Very, very relevant to active duty. And then Friday is Friday Night Freedom, again with Minx.
Woohoo!
And Pookie. And they talk about just about everything from current events to, what was the one the other day? Something about being tied up and or bearding something. Oh, and Pookie having to submit applications for women wanting to date him. And then Saturday is Saturday Night Savagery with Jay Reddy and Pookie, and that show gets a little out of hand. I think they were talking about somebody from the future last week, week before last maybe. So that show gets a little crazy. And then Sunday is the Green Room with Charlie and Jason and Cause. And they are talking all things 420 friendly, not only how it affects civilians, but how it's going to affect active duty members and veterans as those laws and the science behind it becomes more and more available for those communities. And then Monday is the Monday edition with Ice, and he's usually covering current events and being angry about all ice. Huh?
Ice and Flash.
Oh, Ice and Flash. Okay. So it's Ice and Flash on Mondays. And it's Ice, so you know it's going to be a good show. And then it's right back to us on Tuesdays with Tied Up Tuesday. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon, it's Jose's Taco Truck hosted by KJ. And he goes on some epic rants from everything from soldiers to current events and whatnot. And that's always a good show to follow. So be sure to join us on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon, and also every night from 20 to 2300 minus Wednesdays at the moment.
Right? Ooh. Also, we are hiring. Currently, we are looking for executive assistants. So basically, you would help out Mom and Spanky, and you would help contact potential guests for the shows and get them scheduled. Take notes, send out emails, all that good stuff. They seem to like their job. Mm-hmm. We're hoping you like that sort of stuff, but we are looking for that. So now on to our guests. So this Friday, we have Major Crispin Burke. I've been calling him Crispy, but I don't, not to his face yet. I'm not sure, but anyways, he and I have been talking, but anyways, whatever. So Major Crispin Burke has been serving on active duty in the U.S. Army since 2002. He's an active Army aviator qualified with the UH-60 Black Hawk and the LUH-72 Lakota helicopters. His assignments include the 82nd Airborne Division during Hurricane Katrina, Joint Task Force Bravo in Honduras, the 10th Mountain Division during the Iraq War, and the Joint Multinational Readiness Center in Germany. Major Burke administers the blog Wings Over Iraq. He has been featured in the New York Times, Small Wars Journal, Foreign Policy, World Politics Review, and the Wall Street Journal. This Saturday, we have Lois Fernandez from CONUS Battle Drills. So CONUS Battle Drills is written by a combat veteran for combat veterans to help each other grow in the areas of corporate employment, fatherhood, being a husband, and taking care of your mental state. Luis, not Lois. Luis. I'm so sorry. Anyways, on Monday, January 15th, we have Anthony Anderson from Stolen Valor. Anthony will be on the show to update us on what has been going on with Stolen Valor since the last time they were on. He will be on to talk about his new project called Valorified to validate veteran-ran businesses. Because you know how they're, it seems every so, all the time really now, you see these, businesses popping up and they claim to be veteran-owned businesses. Mm-hmm. But are they?
That's a good point.
So, on January 18th, which is Thursday at noon for our taco truck show, Jonathan Davis from Veteran Esquire Legal Solutions, PLLC. Jonathan H. Davis is a United States Army veteran that dedicates his life to serving veterans and their families. John founded Veteran Esquire Legal Solutions, PLLC, after serving a 15-month deployment to Iraq, earning a law degree from a top 100 law school, serving as an attorney for a federal government agency, and managing a veterans benefits program for a Big Six veteran service organization. He currently owns and operates Veterans Esquire Legal Solutions, PLLC, representing veterans from all across the United States in pursuit of VA benefits, discharge upgrades, federal records requests, and litigation. So again, that's going to be on our noon show next Thursday. Next Friday, oh goodness. Next Friday, we have Guardians of the Green Beret. So Guardians of the Green Beret is an organization that targets people who falsely claim to be a Green Beret. They are retired and current active duty special forces that is dedicated to exposing posers of the Green Beret. What about just assholes in the Green Beret?
I would ask them why they're on the show.
And then next Saturday, January 20th, we have John M. Peck. Now, if you remember, he is a Marine Corps veteran who is a quadruple amputee and is also the double arm transplant recipient. So John Peck will be back on to give us an update on what he's been up to and how he's been doing. So
that'd be awesome.
yeah, and then also on Saturdays before our Saturday Night Savagery show, we do help promote and broadcast for the Veterans Report, who we're in partnership with. So make sure to tune in during that report as well. It's a good time. So yeah, that's our show.
Good show.
I think so.
That's 3 hours.
Right? Fuck yeah. Dude, high five.
High fives.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Have an awesome week. We will see you Thursday for Jose's Taco Truck and Sergeant's Time. So have a great rest of your night. Bye, you guys.
Later, nation.
I'll always be a hero. Call me a vet like a soldier. Green Beret 21.